Well, fellow Rotarians, it's my great privilege to tell you about the Joan McKenzie Trust, what we've done over the last year, and also to tell you that it's our 75th anniversary this year, and you'll hear more about that later on. But it also marks 75 years of Rotarians' involvement with the Trust as well, not only from this club but throughout New Zealand. So in this year we're honouring the founder, Sir John, and then his son, Sir Roy, who were both members of this club. And we're celebrating the achievements of the Trust over that time and looking to the future. And some of you will know that Sir John, when he established his company, the McKenzie stores, which some of us will remember, he set aside a third of the profits right from the very beginning for social service and philanthropic needs. So he was really a very early giver back to society. So the J.R. McKenzie Trust was established in 1940, so some years after the actual company was established. And that's Sir John there and that's Sir Roy. Right. We're on board. So over our 75 years, we have given 83 million to support New Zealanders in need. And as I said, Rotary has had quite an involvement with the Trust, but Rotary itself had a profound influence on Sir John's life. And right from the beginning, he entrusted Rotary clubs throughout New Zealand to act as agents for the Trust and allocating funds to the local community, because he recognised that Rotarians had a network of civil-minded and good works people. So what does it look like today? Well, each of these 6 Rotary districts provides a trustee for the Trust, and each of those trustees leads a team of Rotarians and other volunteers in their district who go around and visit shortlisted grant applications and assess them for suitability. And here in Wellington, I chair the Wellington Regional Panel, which is a Lower North Island, and I have 8 people that assist me with that. And we visit 6 to 8 grantee sites a year and make recommendations to the Trust for funding and receive reports from those grantees and decide whether they should get further money, maybe for evaluation or maybe to do additional work. 5 years ago, we had a good look, it's before my time on the Trust, but at the way we were giving out grants, and found that we were giving smaller and smaller grants to a lot of social service organisations, and the Trust felt it really wasn't making a significant enough difference to society. And one of the things it also found that only 2 to 3% of our funds were going to Maori. So in 2010, the board took quite a courageous move and changed its focus to 2 areas. To disadvantaged children and its families, which it had always had a strong focus on, but also to Maori development. And a third area that it funds is advocacy for social justice. So looking at what have we done with our grants since 2010 when we made this big strategic change. 40% goes to disadvantaged children and their families and slightly more to Maori development. But the area that you'll all be interested in is this area here, which is the J.R. McKenzie Youth Education Trust, to which we give about $300,000 a year for that. And that's distributed through all the Rotary clubs of New Zealand to children that, I think it might have gone. To children that need school uniforms and textbooks and school fees that they can't really afford. So they're quite small grants. They're normally about $200. So I'd now like to turn to a couple of highlights from last year. and sort of report back to you on what we've been doing. We undertook with Burl, through our Maori Development Subcommittee, a review, a survey of Maori giving in New Zealand, and it's actually not particularly good news, actually. Burl estimated that 289 million was given in grants to Maori in 2012, and most of that is for education, so it's in individual scholarships, and some for the development of iwi and marae. So it represents 12% of total philanthropic funding in New Zealand, and on a per capita basis this is lower than other groups. And I think we looked at Pacific Island, which we haven't done. I think we'd probably find the same story. So although we've had this focus only for a short time, we've been recognised internationally last year for this, and we were awarded the International Funders for Indigenous Peoples Award. This is an award that was set up by the Rockefeller Institute and Foundation, and it was created to encourage philanthropic funding of Indigenous communities worldwide. And apart from the fact that we're funding Maori development, the other key reason why we've got it was that we have a number of Maori members as trustees, and that sounds like that might be quite unique worldwide. So moving on. The other area that we spend a lot of time in is poverty reduction, and with the University of Otago and the Office of Children's Commissioner, we've set up the child poverty monitoring. So we're in our second year of it, and I thought I'd just tell you that we have made some progress, but it's very small. We've had a 1% reduction in child poverty between 2013 and 2014, which represents about 5,000 children. So just to end, some challenges for us and our relationship with Rotary and Rotary itself. I think reduction of child poverty is a huge issue for New Zealand. We've got 24% of children in poverty, some of them in severe poverty, like about 12% are in severe poverty. And I think, looking at our limited resources, we as a trust are looking at what's the best way of tackling that issue, but we need other groups to help us as well. We'd really like Rotary to pick up the challenge. So thank you very much.